So in this series of lectures, we will be doing or covering CSAT with the help of the previous year questions. And we will be starting with work and time. Now, please understand that the approach for CSAT would be different than the approach you have for other subjects or for, let's say, GS. Here, of course, it's qualifying in nature. It's qualifying in nature. You need to get, you get 67 marks and you qualify. But of course, we will not just target 67. We will not have this, exact figure in mind. We will target easily 90 plus marks. And that's very simple. The idea here will be to cover the easiest of the easy portion of the paper, the topics, the easiest of the easy topics and the easiest of the easy questions which are there in the paper. So we will be preparing accordingly. Anyways, through the lectures, each and every topic and micro topics will be covered, but also the skill and the, the smartness to solve the papers will also be discussed. Okay, so let's get started with work and time. So when it comes to work and time, there are few basic things which you have to remember. Let's just quickly look into that and then jump into the previous year questions on work and time. So what are the things that you have to remember? Two things, the work and time. And there will be few people who will be doing this work. Let's say A, B, C, D, men, women, children, P, Q, R, S, T, so on and so forth. So let us understand, and here in this work and time, all you have to do is either multiply or divide. And you may be adding and subtracting as well. Let's say if I am doing a particular work in some days, or in one day if I do a particular amount of work, in one day you do a particular amount of work. So the amount of work we both do in one day would be what? The amount of work I have done plus the amount of work you have done. So we can add it. The difference in the amount of work done in one day by me and you, then we'll have to subtract it, right? And then if I can do a particular work in 30 days, then in one day how much work I can do, that's unitary method, you have to divide. Or if I can do some amount, let's say 10% of the work in X days, then the entire work will be done in how many days? So multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, that is it. The basic arithmetic that you might have, that you would definitely have studied in 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 classes would be utilized here. Apart from that, a couple of things which I will tell you, and we will see how easily the question can be solved. Alright, so let's get started. So if I say that a person A, there is a person A can do a work. So guys, whenever we saying can do a means one work, means complete one single, that means 100% of the work. There is a work, the work can be anything. It can be, let's say, creating a single wall of XYZ dimension. So that is one single work. When that work is done completely, that means 100% of that work is done. So if A can do a work, that means if A can finish the entire one work which is made available to A. So if A can do a work in X days. So if A can do a work in X days, then amount of work A can do in one day will be what? If A is doing one work in X days, the amount of work A can do in one day will be 1 divided by X. Will be 1 divided by X. Where X is what? The number of days required. So if I am, let's say, doing a job in 30 days and the efficiency is not changing, please understand that. Every day I am doing same amount of work. When every day I do same amount of work, right? So, and doing that, if I do, let's say, not take 30, let's take 10. So for easier calculation. So if I do a job in 10 days, that means what? I am doing 10% of the job every day. That is why if you add 10% 10 times, if you add 10% 10 times, then the total would be 100. Now, how did this 10% come from? This 10% came from, since I am doing one job in 10 days, therefore, my 1 day work will be how much? It will be 1 upon the number of days I am doing to do the complete job. So 1 by 10 gives you what? 10%. Right? I hope this is clear. So let us focus on the equation. If A can do a work in X days, that means the amount of work A will do in 1 day would be 1 by X. That means 1 divided by the number of days A is taking to do the entire job. Right? I would write it down clearly here. It means 1 upon number of days required to do the work. And what is the number of days required to do the work? X. So therefore it will be 1 by X. Okay. If A can do a work in X days, then amount of work A can do in 1 day is 1 upon X. In the same manner, guys, in the same exact same manner, if B can do a work in Y days, then what will be B's 1 day work? Then B's 1 day work will be how much? It will be 1 by Y. 1 by Y. 1 by Y, that is 1 upon the number of days required to do the entire work. I hope that's absolutely clear. So this 1 day work we have found out. Now, if let's say for example, if A and B work together. So if A and B work together, then what will be their 1 day work together? Let's understand. If A and B work together, then 1 day work of A plus B will be how much? It will be 1 day work of A plus 1 day work of B, which is what? 1 by X plus 1 by Y. And you can solve it by cross multiplication. We will see when we solve the question. But for now, the logic needs to be clear. If A is doing a work in X days, so A will require 1 by, A will be in 1 day, A will be doing 1 by X of the work. If B is doing a work in Y days, so in 1 day, B will be doing 1 by Y of the work. At the same time, if we have to see how much work can A and B do together in 1 day, that will be nothing but 1 day work of A plus 1 day work of B, that is 1 upon X plus 1 upon Y. This is the only thing that you have to remember, plus one more thing I will give you, and then all the answers, all the questions can be answered. Another thing which I am going to give you is this formula. Time into productivity is equals to work done. Remember this. Now what is this? When I say time, what do I mean by time? Let's define this for better understanding. Time and productivity into productivity equals work done. So time is number of days required to finish the work. Okay, that is the time we are talking about. When it comes to productivity, productivity is what? Your 1 day work. This is your 1 day work, and this is the total work, and total work is taken generally as 1. Okay, you take total work as some other unit by taking LCM. When there are 3, 4, 5 people involved and you need to take the LCM, then you may take a different unit, but generally the complete work is taken as 1. So time into productivity equals work done. Time is the number of days required to finish the work. Productivity is 1 day work, and then work done is nothing but the total work. Now, having understood this, let's now solve actual UPSC previous year questions. This one question went on the top. We'll do it at the end. Let's start with the other ones first. Okay. Now, let's look at the question. The question says that a man completes 7 by 8 of a job in 21 days. Okay. How many more days will it take him to finish the job if the quantum of the work is further increased by 50%? Now see guys, what happens is, the moment we read the entire sentence and try to formulate equation for the entire sentence, it becomes difficult for us. So rather what should we do is, of course read the entire question, but then break it down, and after breaking it down, convert this English into mathematics. That's all we have to do. Convert the English into mathematics. That's all we have to do. Let us start converting English into maths. Okay? Or arithmetic, for example. Or let's say equation, for example. So a man completes 7/8 of a job in 21 days. So 7 by 8 of the job is getting completed in 21 days, right? 7 by 8 of a job is getting completed in 21 days. Now, this is 7/8 of the job. How much of the job actually is required to do to complete it fully? That is 1, complete 1. This 7 by 8 is less than 1. Okay, this 7 by 8 is less than 1. So, if 7 by 8 of the job is getting completed in 21 days, in the entire one job will be completed in how many days? Here you have to apply the unitary method. Unitary method. What is unitary method? Unitary method is very simple. If one mango is of 10 rupees, then how much will 10 mangoes cost? If one mango equals 10 rupees, therefore 10 mangoes equals what? Multiplied by 10. 10 into 10 equals 100. But one thing you should see which is not visible here or here. What is that? That is, what if the equation would have been, if 2 mangoes cost 10 rupees, then 10 mangoes will cost how much? It will cost me, this 10 mangoes, I have to multiply it by 10. So I will multiply the number of mangoes, that is 10, into the cost of, let me say, into this cost which is 10. But the problem is, this cost here was of 1 mango, but this cost here is of 2 mangoes. So what I have to do? I have to divide this by 2. I have to divide this by 2. So it will be 10 number of mangoes whose cost I want into 10 by 2. Why I am dividing 10 by 2? Because I have to multiply this total number of mangoes by the cost of one single mango, and I have been given the cost of 2 mangoes. So hence I have to divide it by 2, right? And if you look at here also there is a division sign, but it is of 1, that's why I did not write it. So the unitary method's formula actually becomes, you multiply it by the number of mangoes whose rate you want, and divide it to get the unit rate, you need to divide that rate by the number of mangoes they have mentioned initially. Here it was only 1, so it is as good as the unit rate. Here it was 2, so you have to divide it by 2. But here, even though it was 1, you can say that this 10 was automatically divided by 1. So do not forget that invisible 1 which is there. And using that invisible 1, we will solve this as well. Okay, using the same invisible 1, we will solve this as well. So where is this invisible 1? 7 by 8 work is done in 21 days. Therefore, one work will be done in how many days? Here is the invisible 1. Okay. So, what would have happened? One work would be done in X days. But what did they do? They said, but we are only doing 7 by 8 of that one work. Right? So, this will also be multiplied by 7 by 8. And hence we got 7 by 8 work being done in 21 days. So 21 days is what? 7 by 8 of X. 21 is 7 by 8 of X. This is the power of the invisible 1. So if 7 by 8 of the work is getting done in 21 days, therefore you keep this 1 over here only. Take this entire fraction on the right hand side. When you take the entire fraction on the right hand side, the denominator and numerator will change places. It will become 21 into 8 by 7. Right? They have changed the places. 24 into 8 by 7 days. 7 ones are, 7 threes are, 3 into 8 is 24. Therefore, one work will be done in how many days? 24 days. Okay, one work is getting done in 24 days. Now, 21 days were already consumed for 7-8 work. That means for the remaining work, how many days additionally were required? 24 minus 21, that is 3 days. But the question says, how many more days will it take him to finish the job if the quantum of work is further increased by 50%. So not just the remaining work plus 50% additional work. So if 100% of the work is getting done in 24 days, then 50% of the work will be done in how many days? In 50% of the time. So 50% of the time as in 0.5 into 24. That is total 12 days. So this additional quantum of the work, 50% of the work will be done in 12 days. Plus the remaining work from here was done in how many days? This remaining work was done in how many days? It was done in 24 minus 21, that is 3 days. So they are asking us what? How much time will it take? How much more time will it take to finish the job if the quantum of the work is added, 50% more of the work is added? That means you have to finish this 50% of the work as well, plus the remaining work as well. So to finish the remaining work, 3 days is required. To finish an additional 50% of the work, 12 days is required. So total days required would be 12 plus 3 equals 15 days. Hence the correct answer is option D, that is 15. Now, since I am explaining this to you step by step, it takes a lot of time. Once you practice this, it will be done very quickly. Initially, please understand, do not focus on speed. Initially, focus on understanding the concept, understanding the steps, implementing the formula, whatever logic is there, and getting the right answer. Initially, focus on getting the right answer. Once that is done, then we will work on speed. I hope that is absolutely clear. Now, let's move on to the next question. The next question says that, again converting English into mathematics, a person X can complete 20% of the work in 8 days. Okay, so, and another person Y can complete 25% of the work in 6 days. If they work together, how many days will 40% of the work be completed by? Be completed. It should be B. Be completed. Clear? So that's what they're saying. So what is happening? You look at the logic. We initially used A and B doing work, and when they together do work, we add the productivity, right? So same is here. It's just that they have given in different formats the productivity. So if we talk about A, no, the person is X. So if we talk about person X, X can complete 20% of the work in 8 days. Okay. So what is 20% of the work? You should also know the percentages and their ratio or fraction. So 20% is nothing but 0.2. 20% of 100 is nothing but 0.2 into 100, right? So X can finish 0.2. Let me just give a space because our invisible 1 will be there. 0.2 of the work in 8 days. What is this? 1 is here. But we want not the entire 1 day work, we want only 0.2% of the work. Not 0.2%, 20% of the work. That means 0.2 of the work. So if 0.2 of the work gets completed in 8 days, therefore one work would be completed in how many days? 8 upon 0.2. How to solve 8 upon 0.2? Remove the decimal. So this becomes, add a 0 here to remove the decimal from here. So it requires 40 days. So if 0.2 of the work is completed in 8 days by X, that means X would require 40 days to complete the entire work. That means what? Now we can calculate the productivity. That means productivity, that is 1 day work of X will be, X will be 1 by 40. I hope that's clear. We may not use this, but I am just telling you, you can find out this also. Even this, up to this will be fine. But let's see. Let's see what the question demands. Another person Y completes 25% of the work in 6 days. So here what is the case? 25% as in 0.25 of the work is completed in 6 days. 1 is over here. So therefore, the entire work Y can complete in how many days? 6 by 0.25, which is equal to what? 24 days. So therefore, 1 day work of Y equals 1 upon 24. 1 day work of Y equals 1 upon 24. Right? Now, 1 day work of X is 1 by 40. 1 day work of Y is 1 by 24. So 1 day work of both X and Y will be how much? 1 day work of X plus Y equals 1 day work of X plus 1 day work of Y equals 1 by 40 plus 1 by 24. 1 day work of X and Y, that means X plus Y will be 1 day work of X plus 1 day work of Y equals 1 upon 40 plus 1 upon 24. Now you can solve this by cross multiplication. So cross multiplication happens in this way. You add these two, it gives you 24 plus 40, and you multiply these two, 40 into 24, which gives you 64 by 40 into 24. Now you don't have to multiply 40 into 24, you can simplify 40 into 24 because there is 64, you can cancel it. So 8 8s are 8, matlab 8 goes 8 times and 8 goes 5 times here. Then 8 goes 1 time and 8 goes 3 times. So this is equal to 1 upon 15. So guys, we have now found out 1 day work of X and Y is 1 by 14. If 1 day work of X and Y is 1 by 14, 1 by 15, 1 day work of X and Y is 1 by 15. That means if they do this 1 by 15 work 15 times, it will complete the entire work. That means number of days required to complete one work by A plus B together would be what? It would be 1 upon 1 day work. 1 upon 1 day work equals 1 upon 1 by 15. So this 15 goes up, it becomes 15 days. So guys, if 15 days are required to complete the entire work, how many days will be required to complete just 40% of the work? 40% of the days. So therefore, number of days required to complete 40% of the work will be given by 40% of 15 days. That means 0.4 into 15. 0.4 into 15. 0.4 into 15 is 6 days. So 6 days is required to do 40% of the work. Let us look at the option. That's the first option, that is 6 days. How many days? 6. Okay, so that is how you solve this particular question. Now let's move on to the next question. Now what UPSC does, what I want to point out here is, UPSC can use work and time or time distance and speed question and give a logical reasoning question based on that. So this is a question of work and time, but you actually don't have to solve it because this cannot be solved because the given information itself is not sufficient. So basically this is sort of a data sufficiency logical reasoning kind of a question, but let us have a look at that. But you can actually answer this based on the work and time logic only. So I have classified this into work and time. Alright. The question says 24 men and 12 women can do a piece of work in 30 days. 24 men and 12 women can do a piece of work in 30 days. In how many days can 12 men and 24 women do the same piece of work? Now the thing is, you cannot say. Why? Because the comparative efficiency of the men and women is not given. It is not given if men work with the same efficiency as women, or if men work with lesser efficiency than women, or if men work with greater efficiency than women. So if men work with the same efficiency as women, then if 24 men and 12 women, total is how much? Total number of people is 36. And here also total number of people is 36. So if both their efficiency is equal, then what will happen? If 24 men and 12 women can do a piece of work in 30 days, then 12 men and 24 women, it will also do the same piece of work in the same number of days, it will remain same. But if the efficiency of men is less, then what is happening in the second scenario? The number of men is reducing and the number of women is increasing. So you are increasing higher, more efficient people. So you will do the same work in lesser number of days. Now, if the efficiency of men is more than the efficiency of women, then you are decreasing the number of men and increasing the number of women. So you will require more time. So here, in this scenario, you will require more days. So even this is possible, this is possible, this is possible. And since we don't know the efficiency, we cannot actually determine how many days these people will require. So this would have been the case if the efficiency were same. More than 30 days would have been the case if the efficiency of men was more. Less than 30 days would have been the case if the efficiency of men was less. More would have been the case if the efficiency of men are more. So this is a better option, but still this is not correct. Why? Because this is saying less than 30 days or more than 30 days. But there is another possibility of same number of days if the efficiencies are same. So this is not taking that into account. If the option would have been either less or more or same, that would have been the right answer, but there is no such option. So the correct answer would be Data is inadequate to draw any conclusion. Data is inadequate to draw any conclusion. I hope that's absolutely clear. You don't have to solve that, just by looking at it, you can answer it. Moving on to the next question. The question states that P works thrice as fast as Q. So P, the faster you work, the more you will be paid. Understand that, right? So P works thrice as fast as Q, whereas P and Q together can work 4 times as fast as R. Now if P, Q and R together work on a job, in what ratio should they be paid? Right? If P works thrice as fast as Q, that means P will take three times lesser time and 3 times faster, because 3 times faster P is working. So if P is working 3 times faster and they are doing a job together and starting together and finishing together, what will happen? They should not be paid same. P should be paid 3 times more than Q, because P is 3 times faster than Q, right? So if P is 3 times faster than Q, so the ratio of the payment P gets, right, should be 3 times that of Q. So ratio of payment should be 3:1. Which option has 3:1 for P is to Q? They are asking the ratio of P is to Q is to R. So we know, since P is 3 times faster than Q, the ratio of payment here should be 3:1. So which are the options which has those payments? A and D. So this is gone, this is gone. Now further they say, P and Q together can work 4 times as fast as R. P plus Q together can work 4 times as fast as R. Now can I replace P with 3Q? Yes, I can. So instead of P, I will write here 3Q plus this Q is here. It is equal to 4R. Therefore, 4Q equals 4R. That means Q equals R. So it's very clear that the speed of Q is equal to R. Since the speed of Q is equal to R, the ratio of Q and R should be equal. So in which of the option ratio of Q and R is equal? In option A, 1:1. Here it's different. Okay, they have given 4 to confuse you with this 4. Don't get confused. We have seen P plus Q equals 4R is what they have said. I replace P by 3Q. So it becomes 4Q equals 4R. That means Q equals R. So the speed of the ratio of their speed is same. So the ratio of their payment would be same. And this is the only option wherein it is same. So it would be 3:1:1. I hope that is absolutely clear. Now let us go to the first question which I left, which also we will be doing. Yes. Okay, so now let us look at this particular question. This question says, and all of these are UPSC questions. A, B, C working independently can do a piece of work in 8, 16 and 12 days. I took this at last because here LCM would be required, and here we will not take the total work as 1. We will take it as the LCM of 8, 16 and 12, because there are 3 different people with 3 different efficiency, right? Let's see. ABC working independently can do a piece of work in 8, 16 and 12 days respectively. A alone can do A alone works on Monday. B alone works on Tuesday. C alone works on Wednesday. Clear? Then A alone again works on Thursday. So when their turn is getting over, then again it is getting repeated. So on Thursday again A is working, and so on. That means on Friday B, Saturday C, and then that turn is over, then Sunday again A will work. Clear? There is no holiday and all mentioned. Alright? So, having said that, consider the following statements. The statements are, the work will be finished on Thursday. They are saying this. How will we know whether the work will be finished on Thursday, Wednesday or any other day? By knowing if they work like this, how many days they will take, we need to know that. Once we know that we also know that they are starting it on Monday. So then from there we can calculate. I hope that's clear. It also says the work will be finished in 10 days. So first, when we identify how many number of days are there, we will understand whether this statement is right or wrong. and then we'll calculate actual day on which it will be completed based on the number of days required, and then we'll understand whether this statement is also right or not, and then we will get our answer. Okay, so first things first, let's take the LCM. So A, B and C can do the work in 8, 16 and 12 days. So let us take an LCM of 8, 16 and 12 days. How to take an LCM? Write this down, 8, 16 and 12, and try to factorize it. This is the factorization method of finding out LCMs. So start with the smallest number. So that is 2. Smallest number, don't take 1, it will not make any sense. Take 2. So if 2 goes in 8 4 times, so 4 will be remaining, here 8 will be remaining, here 6 will be remaining. Again 2 goes 2 times, 4 times, 3 times. Again 2 goes 1 time, 2 times. It does not factorize 3, so 3 will be as it is. Then again 2, here it's not required, here it goes 1 times, here again it does not go, so it remains 3. Now 1, 1, 3, so we need to factorize only 3, so let's do it by 3. So 3 here, it remains this, 3 goes into 3 by 1 time, so this is done. This is the complete factorization. So these are the factors, we multiply them to get the LCM. 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 3. 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 3. 2 2s are 4, 4 2s are 8, 8 2s are 16 into 3. It gives us 16 into 3, which is what? Which is 48. So the LCM that is least common multiple of 8, 16 and 12 is 48. Since the LCM is 48, we will assume that one complete work equals 48 units. Okay, one complete work we were taking as 1 unit. Now here, since we have to find out the LCM, we will take the entire work as 48 units. Okay, so now when we take the entire work as 48 units, and we know that A does the work in 8 days. A does the work in 8 days, B does the work in 16 days, C does the work in 12 days. Therefore, 1 day work of A will be how much? Total work is 48. Right. Now, what is happening is A is taking 8 days to do the entire 48 unit of work. So in 1 day, how much work will A do? A will do 48 by 8, which is equal to 6. B will do how much? 48 by 16, which is equal to 3. C will do how much? 48 by 12, which is equal to 4. So in 1 day, A does 6 units of the work, B does 3 units and C does 4 units. And they are working on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, then again repeat Thursday, Friday, Saturday, then again repeat Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, so on and so forth. So we need to keep on making them work till their addition equals to how much? 48, because the total amount or the one complete work is how much? 48 units. So let us see how can we get that. So A starts, then B does, then C, then again A start, then B will do, then C, then again A does, B starts, then C, then again A, then B, then C. We'll keep on doing this till we get 48. So in 1 day when A starts, A would be starting here. Let me write down. It will be a Monday, then Tuesday, then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and if there is more need, we will do more. So on the first day, A does how much work in 1 day? Let's look at 6 units. I think yes, 6 units, B 3 and C 4. So 6. Then B does 3, C does 4. Then A does 6, B does 3, C does 4. Then A does 6, B does 3, C does 4. Then here also A does 6, B does 3, C does 4. Now, on the very first day, total how much work is done? 6 units. On the second day, how much total cumulative aggregate work is done? 6 plus 3, that is 9. Add 3 to this 6, then add 4 to this 9, so it will be 13. So in one set of their rotation, total work done is 13. So here another 13 unit of the work will be done. Here another 13 unit of the work will be done. So 13 plus 13 plus 13 equals what? This total gives you 39 units of work. Now we need total 48 units of work. So 9 units of work is still left. So now it's A's turn to do the work. A does the work, 6 units get added. So 39 plus 6 is 45. We still need 3 units of work. So now it's Thursday. B does the work and does 3 units of work. So we add 45 plus 3, and how much it is now? It is 48, and we got our 48 units of work. That means on this day, the work will be completed. And what is this day? Thursday. And how many days? Let's count the number of days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and this is the 11th day. So the work will be completed on 11th day, and the day would be Thursday. Let's look at the options. The work will be finished on Thursday, that's correct. So this is gone, this is gone. The work will be finished in 10 days. No, it will require 11 days. So this is gone. The correct answer is A1 only. Now, this statement can anyhow be, the thing is, 10th day is anyhow not Thursday. Thursday is the 11th day. So the option which has both of them is correct would have anyhow been eliminated. But still you would have been left with 3 options. So you anyhow have to solve it completely. Okay. So we have solved this one as well. It will be completed on Thursday, but a total of 11 days would be required. So the correct answer is A1 only. So guys, these were your questions on work and time of previous year's question papers of UPSC. I hope you have understood. Now go through this lecture again. In the beginning, whatever logic, formula kind of things I have given, write them down, solve these questions, try to solve these questions on your own after watching the video. Ensure that you get accuracy, and then we will work on the speed of your solving questions. Alright, so in this lecture series, we'll come up with another topic. Keep watching Legacy IAS YouTube channel. Thank you.